من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. In the last lecture, we discussed barriers of science and divine order. Today, we will discuss how to overcome barriers of science in continuity of our lectures on the Quranic philosophy of unity in diversity. In the previous lecture, we concluded our discussion by quoting Ayat 36 of Surah Yunus, which has revealed historic mindset of the people for depending on assumptions whenever they could not evolve a definite reasoning on the issues related to emergence of the universe and life and their sustainability. Ayat is shown on the screen to refresh your memory. Pursuing this traditional mindset, modern scientific research too preferred this easy course of banking upon assumptions and hypotheses to establish its theories at several difficult junctures of scientific inquiry instead of looking beyond physical output of the matter and expanding the scope of inquiry to the realm of the divine order. Divine order working pervasively behind materiality of the wonders of the universe, wonders of the nature. In the last lecture, we identified some of such junctures in the history of scientific thought and some major barriers of science responsible for these pitfalls. For convenience of discussion, these barriers were summed up in 4 groups, such as lack of faith, limitations of knowledge, closed instead of holistic view, and inert biases based on materialist mind and socio-cultural rigidities. Had science given serious thought to the divine order set by Allah quite precisely and comprehensively working behind the materiality of these wonders of the nature, it would have not only overcome these barriers to reach the truth, but it would also have not fallen victim to frivolous assumptions. Let us seek the Quranic guidance to understand the spirit of this statement. Dear friends, in the first instance, first of all, I would like to seek your attention on the divinity of Quranic guidance. Divinity of Quranic guidance. Divinity of the Quran may be proven in several dimensions, 1, 2, 3, innumerable. However, since our discussion has been focused on scientific discoveries, especially related to the emergence of the universe and life and their sustainability, it appears appropriate to limit our focus on the Quranic input related to this specific area. In the recent times, hundreds of discoveries have been made by science in this area which had been revealed by the Quran 1500 years ago. Just imagine. Some of them have already been discussed quite in detail in the previous lectures. If scientific mind gets ready to analyze these revelations with positive mindset, it may reach the truth of the Quran that may lead it to the faith in the unity of Allah the Creator, His all-pervasive authority and the unique divine order sustaining each and every particle of the universe and life. I may refer to the Quranic revelations on some of the scientific discoveries we discussed in previous lectures, which urge us, which motivates us to look into the divinity behind the material outfit of the universe and life, inviting us to believe in the oneness of their master creator. 1. Science tells us that part of the universe it could observe so far. It could observe so far is just a small fraction of the whole universe. Very small fraction. Tip of the iceberg, I would say. Of this little observable universe means the tip. Only 4% comprises of billions of galaxies and trillions of stars, while the remaining 96% comprises of dark energy and dark matter, not known to the man. It tells how little of the universe is known, while all the rest is yet unknown, unseen to the man. Now look at some Quranic references displayed on the screen, revealing immeasurability of the universe and that the man knows very little of Allah's creation and His divinity, and rest are unknown, unseen. Number 2, Edwin P. Hubble firstly gave the idea of a growing universe in 1929. Just imagine, less than 100 years. It is estimated that the universe has grown more than threefold since its earliest explosive expansion. Whereas the Quran has revealed the universe as a growing and dynamic phenomenon in several of its verses about 15 centuries ago. Some Quranic references have been displayed on the screen in this context. Number 3, in the recent times, very recently, there is consensus among the physicists that the universe initially started exploding from an incredibly hot, dense single point of the size much smaller than an inch in space about 13.8 billion years ago. At the earliest stage, the universe underwent an incredible growth spurt in the form of clouds of gas and dust. With the expansion, its temperature lowered rapidly, causing these clouds of particles form into protons, neutrons, and electrons of hydrogen, helium, and lithium atoms, the building blocks of the stars and the sun, and source of their energy and light. Now note the divine words of Ayat 11 of Surah Fussilat, which says, focus on the words. Then he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke of dust, and said to it and to the earth, come into being, willingly or by compulsion. Both of them said, we have come willingly. So, the establishment of this universe and of this earth is by the divine order of Allah. Number 4, Stephen Hawking and several other physicists on the experience of infinite density causing the Big Bang predicted that such infinite density may be a probable cause of black holes and may cause big crunch end of the universe at some future point of time. Against the pessimistic view of science, the Quranic view is optimistic, giving hope of recreation, possibility of emerging of new worlds or universes, creation of the solar system from the dust of a collapsed star called nebula supports the Quranic view. Recently, this view has been supported by Haling Deng, a cosmologist at Arizona University, America, as we discussed in lecture 177. Some references are displayed on the screen which may be studied to understand the Quranic vision on the black holes. Number 5, science presented hundreds of theories and notions regarding the origin of life, but most of them, rather all of them, were based on assumptions. For that, none of them could sustain its eminence beyond a few generations. Likewise, neither Darwinian theory of biological evolution nor any other such theory could achieve consensus on the vital issues of transformation from first creation to repetitive procreation and transformation from single gender species to coupling of male and female for perpetuation of life. Contrary to science, the Quran is very clear and precise and focused in its explanations on all these aspects of life which could hardly be refuted by science with some credible argument or some alternative theory. Now, if the Quranic concept of creationism is not left to the traditional prejudices of science, it would ease to accept that the first male member of every species of the animal life was created by the Creator's own act of creation. Then, from that male single soul, its female partner was detached, and thus perpetuation of posterity was started. Perpetuation of posterity was started through the process of procreation as a joint venture of male and female partners. Moreover, the Quran is very clear on the point that the humans, animals, plants, flowers, and many things unknown to the man have been created in pairs. These are the facts discovered by science just recently. These aspects of life have been discussed in detail in lecture 175. However, for ease of further study, some Quranic references have been displayed on the screen. Number 6, the earth, despite its insignificant size in the universe, tells great mysteries of nature. One of them is its protective system for the sustainability of its own self and its inhabitants as well. Science remained puzzled on several of its aspects till recent discoveries. However, the Quran had given revealing information, eye-opening information on these aspects about 15 centuries ago. Just imagine. We have discussed 4 aspects of protective system, which are harmony among the earth and the mother solar system because of dominantly common elements they are made of. Number 2, water and its recycling system that ensured life on the planet. on this earth. Number 3, landing of iron. Landing of iron on the earth that generated strong magnetic field to build the magnetosphere, or Van Allen belts thousands of kilometers above the earth, serving as a shield protecting the earth from celestial bodies, harmful cosmic rays and particles. Just imagine. And 4, mountains were pegged deep in the earth to ensure its stability. Had science gone through the miraculous revelations of the Quran much earlier, had science gone, it would have been benefited from the divine wisdom for reaching at sustainable explanations on the origin and sustainability of the universe and life on the earth. These issues have been discussed in lecture 171 to 177 quite in detail. Some Quranic references have been displayed on the screen for friends desiring further study. Discussed so far are a few examples to open the biased materialist mind so that he or she could realize the truth of the Quran, reality of the Quran, divinity of the Quran, and give serious thought to the unity of Allah, the Creator, the Sustainer of the universe and life, His absolute authority, and the divine order working behind each and every particle of the matter. Dear friends, stronger is the faith, higher are the vistas of knowledge, dimensions of knowledge, panorama of knowledge and insight we can reach to look into the divinity spirited in the creation and sustenance of life and the universe. Faith, in fact, is the elixir to remove the mental ailment of materialism science is plagued with. Science is suffering from. Once the faith is restored, it will help overcome the barriers of limitations of knowledge, closed instead of holistic approach and inert biases based on materialist mindset and socio-cultural rigidities. Let us study a few verses of the Quran to know how faith works to overcome these barriers. Ayat 7 of Surah Ar-Rum reveals the facts that come true in this modern age too. Science believes that the universe emerged from a particle and will end so, calling it quantum singularity. Science is observing black holes and white holes, but it has limited its vision to the aberrant outfit of matter and remains reluctant to look at the divinity inside its materiality. This is unfortunate. As science thinks black hole as end of a star, it considers physical death of the man as end of life. Unfortunately, if we start believing in the life of hereafter, where the performance of this life will be judged on the basis of criteria set by the Quran, all the puzzles of life will be resolved without depending on the flimsy assumptions. The ayat says, listen, they only know means the people who believe in the material being of everything. They only know the outer surface of this present life. They only know the outer surface of the present life and are heedless of the life to come. So, dear friends, the Quran directs to keep eyes and mind open to search for the truth. It insists to think, ponder, inquire, and know all means the truth, all means of the truth about the oneness of Allah, His all-pervasive absolute authority, and very important, and indispensability of the life after death. It's very important. Life after the death. The man has been given free personality with abundant abilities and powers and rights and right of choice between good and evil. He has been given consciousness of right and wrong. Thus, conduct of the man in this life will determine his status in the life of hereafter. For that, the man is desired to organize, manage all dimensions of his life in line with the divine order set by Allah, revealed in the Quran. The divine order is the reflection. What is the divine order? Divine order is the reflection of Allah's great attributes, His nature, which the man is desired to pursue. In ayat 30 of Surah Ar-Rum in the words, listen, adhere to the fitrah of Allah, upon which He has created all people. It is to know Allah's divinity, divine order. It is to know Allah's divinity and seek His affinity by pursuing the laws of nature and adopting Allah's character for the well-being of the humanity. Thus, a vision captive of materiality, captive of materiality cannot reach divinity. Without knowing Allah's divinity, one can neither find His affinity nor the truth of His creation, the matter. A few verses need attention in this context. Ayat 52 of Surah Ibrahim says, this Quran is notification for the people that they may be warned thereby and that they may know that He is but one God and that those of understanding will be reminded. Please underline these words. Those who understand, who focus, those of understanding will be reminded. Ayat 20 of Surah Luqman says, do you not see that Allah has made subject to you, subordinated to you, whatever is in the heavens, in the universe, and whatever is in the earth, and amply, adequately bestowed upon you His favors, both apparent and unapparent. Unapparent means which you don't know. But of the people is he who disputes. Who disputes about Allah without knowledge or guidance are an enlightening book from Him. So it is ignorance which compel us to deny the facts of Allah. Ayat 8 of Surah Ar-Rum says, do they not contemplate within themselves? Do they not contemplate within themselves? Allah has not created the heavens and the earth and what is between them except in truth and for a specified term. And indeed, many of the people in the matter of the meeting with their Lord are disbelievers. Ayat 44 of Surah An-Nur says, Allah alternates the night and the day. Indeed, focus. Indeed, in that is a lesson for those who have vision, not for ignorance, for those who have vision. Ayat 43 and 44 of Surah Al-Ankabut say, and these examples we present to the people, but none will understand them except those of knowledge. Importance of knowledge in Quran. None will understand them except those of knowledge. Allah created the heavens and the earth in truth. Indeed, in that is a sign for the believers. Two things, knowledge, and they should be men of faith. Ayat 53 of Surah Fussilat has predicted intellectual growth of the man with the passage of time to know the truth of the Quran through expanding knowledge of the universe and his own self. It says, we will show them our signs in the horizons over the universe and within themselves. Horizon is afaq in Arabic. Within themselves, in the nafs, until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran is the truth. But is it not sufficient concerning your Lord that He is over all things a witness? Dear friends, in view of time constraint, it is difficult to discuss all the related verses. Thus, their list is displayed on the screen for the convenience of participants intending more detailed study. With this, we conclude our discussion here. These programs are recorded both in Urdu and English. Their videos can be watched on ideafoundation.com.pk website or its YouTube web channel and Facebook. Their written versions are also available on the Idea Foundation's website. Please note code number of this program, Idea 2 R15 or lecture number 179, website www.ideafoundations.com.pk. All friends are requested to subscribe the Foundation's YouTube web channel for the benefit of this noble cause. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.